everybody. It is the youngest representative in Congress right now, Representative Maxwell Frost of Florida. Representative, I'm curious, when you look across the aisle at people who ran for office, were elected to Congress, one imagines for what they believe are good reasons, and they have their own system of values. Do you get a sense of what it is like for that caucus on the other side of the aisle right now? What are they fighting about? Do you know?
They're fighting amongst themselves. I mean, what happened?
But I'm curious, like, what is it? Do you hear them fighting with each other? And I mean, no, but I mean that semi-seriously. As you walk by the cloakroom, do you hear them screaming at each other? And if so, what is the actual argument about? Because I can't quite figure out what the goal is.
I don't know what it is either. When I walk by the cloakroom, I smell cigars, and so I don't, I don't know what they're fighting about. I mean, what they say and what we see is the far, far, far right wing of their party, Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, all these folks, want to control the entire Congress. Mm-hmm. And so remember when I was talking about those 15 votes for Speaker? Yeah. Well, former Speaker Kevin McCarthy wanted to be Speaker by any means necessary. And so he gave Matt Gaetz and this far-right Republican part of his party the ability to vacate him and bring up that question with one vote. And so when I get asked, where were Democrats on this whole issue, I like to tell people he created this issue himself to get into power. And when you have a Speaker of the House who's working day to day to keep his job and not for the American people, this is what happens. And so it's really unfortunate.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you something about your home state. Florida gets a bad rap, Yeah. And do you think it's deserved, or would you like to set the record straight about Florida man?
Yeah. I'm proud to be a Florida man. Mm-hmm. I'm proud to be a Florida man. Mm-hmm. I think we have a beautiful state. I used to say I come from the great state of Florida, and I say the beautiful state, and we are a beautiful state. I always want people to know that Florida is actually a progressive state in terms of policy. Within the last few election cycles, over 60% of Floridians have said yes to medical marijuana, a $15 minimum wage, giving voting rights to people with previous felonies. These are progressive policies that most Floridians are for. And so we have a problem right now with the difference between policy and politics. And that's why we have a governor.
And implementation, too, isn't it? Because the 15, allowing people, giving the vote back to people who had served their sentences, well, roadblocks were thrown in front of that by the DeSantis administration.
Exactly.
Where you had to pay fees back or something like that.
A poll tax.
A poll tax to get it back. So how do you square your vision of Florida being actually progressive and something like a 6-week abortion ban that was just signed by DeSantis? Those things don't seem to go together.
They don't go together, and that's why he signed that abortion ban in the middle of the night at like 1 or 2 a.m., and he doesn't talk about it on his presidential campaign because he knows it's bad policy, right? It's something that the majority of Floridians are not for. And so that's that difference between politics and policy. DeSantis and people like him really thrive when there's ambiguity there. What does he talk about? Wokeness and culture wars. He's not talking about bills, because when he talks about that, he knows his approvals will go down because most Floridians disagree with it. And you see it at the ballot box. And I want to tell everyone, too, next year, abortion will be on the ballot in Florida, and we will see it pass. And hopefully that will give, hopefully that will give some inspiration to people with our state.
Do you think Ron DeSantis brags that he turned Florida deep red, and yet here you are? What is your what do you think of that assessment?
I disagree. I mean, I'll say two things. My friend Greg Casada says this. He says, Florida, Texas, we're not red states, we're under-organized states. And what we're doing now is working to get organized and win it back. The second thing I'd say is the heart of that state elected at the time, a 25-year-old Afro-Latino organizer musician to the United States Congress. That's not a state that you give up on. And so I feel good about the future of Florida. We have a lot of work to do, but we're here to do it.
Representative Frost, thank you for being here. Representative Maxwell Frost, everybody. We'll be right back.